What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP in this video today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 24th day of October today, and here we are, up about 4.2%. That's nice to see. Here we are at $2.50, basically eating back the 2 days of downside that we saw there on the 21st and the 22nd. Looking good. We probably do continue to push higher, and we likely do see higher prices going into the end of the month at the 29th and the 30th. There are two big events going on, right? The 29th, we do have the FOMC announcement where Jerome Powell will say, hey, we're cutting interest rates. And then on the 30th, we have Trump and President Xi meeting to talk about, a trade agreement, a trade deal, where they will announce that they're both going to hyperinflate their currencies so that they can pump crypto through the roof. No, that's probably not what's going to happen, but hopefully there's some positive things that come out of that meeting that will likely propel the markets higher going into November. I do assume that in the end of October we will rally, in the beginning of November we will decay, and then we'll come back for the middle and the end of November. We should see some bullish price action. If I'm wrong, it would only be because instead of pulling back in the beginning of November, we just continue to rally because everything's so bullish anyways, and we're just going to keep doing that. Maybe that's what happens. But let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there, and then we'll kind of with our bearings from the short term, just run with the longer term stuff. 43 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. We're down a little bit to start off the hour, but I think again, whenever you start off an hour like this, I think that's okay. That's fine. Sometimes you start off an hour like this and you come back up, right? Like this hour here, you started off way down and then you came back up to close with a bullish finish. I wouldn't be surprised. We got 42 minutes left. I wouldn't be surprised if we did start to move up with this candle here. Looking at the RSI, very bullish, very bullish. Actually, absurdly bullish. It'd be nice to bounce right here. I'm assuming that we probably do see a moment of consolidation take place probably between now and maybe even over the weekend. But we probably move higher first and then perhaps consolidate again going into the weekend, and then we start to move up. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something just like this because that is the weekend there, right? Saturday is right here. Monday is right here. It's a perfect kind of area to consolidate. We'll probably consolidate right above these points of resistance here, if not something in this area. But I do assume that we continue to move higher. So looking at this from a high to a low, where might we go? The expectation there would be, something on the lines of like 260 to 270, maybe 260 to 270. I like the idea of staying below this high point here, or at least not too far above it, something in this area. And then next week we begin to move higher. That'd be my expectation. You could find a little turbulence here, of course. We're moving up right now. We could come back down to about 246 before moving higher, but ultimately I do think we'll move higher going into the end of today and even Saturday, Sunday. We should see some growth or stagnation across those days. Going into next week, I think things will really start to shape up. MACD looks bullish on the 1 hour. Stochastics are bullish as well. You're overbought and you look good on all these time frames, but again, if you cool off a little bit, it's not a problem. It's okay. Sometimes you cool off whenever you're doing good things. 4 hour time frame here. Looking at this, the 4 hour tells me that while the 1 hour looks like it wants to cool off, the 4 hour is saying, hey, cool off as quickly as you can because we got some work to do. We're moving up higher, man. We've got higher lows in this trend. We've got higher highs here in this trend right now, right? And we clearly are moving to the top end of this trend. I think we will see overbought readings that are something on the lines of like an 80 or more. This actually could promote growth over the weekend, you guys, because the weekend, again, here's Sunday. Here's the last hour on Sunday. The last 4 hour candle on Sunday is like right here. Okay, and then Saturday's candle's right here. Here's the weekend. It's right here. And we are right here. The weekend might be positive for XRP. I don't know. Time will tell. If not, certainly sometime next week, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to be in the overbought zone, getting some readings there. We should be seeing some growth. Again, when we get overbought, last time we were overbought, we were seeing some growth here. We got overbought here. We saw, really, at the beginning of this is the first time you'd been overbought in quite some time. You were halfway through this move and you continued to grow. So I really do think that we have days of growth, if not even a week's worth of growth ahead of us over the coming short-term time prospects. Looking at the stochastics, very bullish here as well. The MACD is absurdly bullish. We love to see this here, where you're scooping the zero for support and you're coming back up. Love to see it. All these indicators, in my opinion, are promoting the idea that we have several days, if not a week's worth or more, of growth coming our way. So any kind of short-term whatever over the coming hours, who cares? We're going to be moving up. That's my expectation. I really would expect that we are above 255, probably 260, 270, somewhere in that range over the coming 24 hours. Like maybe by the end of today, if not by the end of tomorrow. Things look good. Things look really good. Looking at the daily time frame here, we're just dealing with this aftermath, doing exactly what we thought we would do back on the 10th here, is that we're just moving sideways, right? It's been 2 weeks now since the 10th of October. I'm not saying that means that we have to move up right now, but I do expect that when we move up, we'll leave this area behind, much like we left this area behind, but to the upwards effect. We'll probably find some turbulence here, right in this area, because that is where our lower highs are kind of coming in line there. We'll probably find some turbulence, but instead of rejecting, we will prosper, we will break through, and this should propel us. This breakthrough here, this break of this trend right here with these lower highs, should be what propels us to new all-time highs. Okay, and I think we're going to see new all-time highs very, very soon, my friends. If we're looking at this on the RSI, you have bullish divergence. Your higher lows with lower lows there. You're looking pretty good. Hold on real quick. Sorry, my little girl just woke up. Anyways, $2.48 right now. Stochastics look positive, like they want to move up as well. And the MACD is crossing green here, you guys, with some bullish divergence trailing behind there. That's nice. That's good looks. Again, everything's promoting growth. And what we're seeing here on the daily time frame is not just days worth of growth, but weeks, months potentially worth of growth implied here. Because again, the thought here is if we're moving up, doing this by the end of October, we're up here, and then we move up going into November, we're breaking this, we're likely going to see a continuation of not just this movement. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Of not just this movement here, but this movement overall. We're going to see some crazy, crazy growth in a short amount of time, you guys. The expectation would be that going into November, we probably move down a little bit at first, but then by the end of the month, we should be at new all-time highs, which should set us up very nicely to see our long-awaited target areas of about $13 to $16 by the end of the year. And if we're not there by the end of the year, there is a scenario where this could extend into the beginning of January. But again, I think a lot of people, and I want to take a moment here actually to just say this out loud so that we're all prepared for this. I think a lot of people associate the end of the year with the end of the cycle. And I don't think that's what's going to happen. Or that this move needs to happen by the end of the year. If it doesn't happen by the end of the year, it's not going to happen at all. Or wherever it is, that's the high. These moves can continue. They're not required to top off by the end of this year. I think a lot of the moves in crypto, I think a lot of these new high prices that we're ultimately moving to will be established in January. I really do think that what's going to happen is we're going to rally in November through December, and January will be a momentary topping point where we consolidate for a couple months or a month or 3 months, and then we have our finale finish after that. So don't think that this next move, I think a lot of people, you hear all these analysts talking about how we're going to stop, this is our point, it's going to be by the end of the year. Don't get so fixed on that. It could be the end of January too. It could be sometime in January, and I really wouldn't be surprised if it was. But ultimately, 13 to 16 bucks, that's where we're going next. I don't have anything else for you guys. I appreciate you very much. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.